You are a fish. I know that you're going to deny it, but it's true. And I've got the evidence to prove it. So, let's get started. Before you jump to denial, I think it's important to take a moment to consider exactly what it is that you're being accused of. A goldfish is a fish. Seems pretty self-explanatory. This shark too is also a fish. They've both got fins and gills, they swim about. Ask people if they belong together as fish and they will likely say yes. But the two are a fair bit different. The goldfish has a bony skeleton like you or I, whereas the shark has one made of flexible cartilage, the same substance that is found in your ears. Goldfish remain buoyant using an air-filled sac known as a swim bladder, but sharks do so with an oily liver and wing-like fins. Even their scales are dissimilar, with sharks being covered in dermal denticles far more akin to teeth than the scales of a goldfish. Now these differences are easier to understand when you realise that the two are actually separated by over 400 million years of evolution. To put that into perspective, you and a baboon are separated by only about 40 million years. Now, sharks and goldfish are clearly fish. Their ancestors were fish and they continue to be fish. But that does have some implications for you. This is a lungfish. Now, lungfish are strange, but they are fish. As the name suggests, they've got lungs, and following that, they can breathe air. Sounding familiar? Now, lungfish are by no means unique in this ability. Plenty of other fish can do it. But lungfish are a bit different to the rest of these fish. Whereas sharks are cartilaginous fish and goldfish and the rest of these fish here are ray-finned fish, lungfish are another group entirely. Much more closely related to the goldfish than the shark, but a different lineage in their own right. The lobe-finned fishes, and that is a group that also happens to contain your ancestors. During the Devonian period, a group of these lobe-finned fishes developed strong limb-like fins, allowing them to propel themselves through shallow water. With time, these limbs became more robust and capable of supporting greater weight. Subsequently, some of these fish took the rather literal step onto terra firma and began their new lives on land. These were the early tetrapods, and in the years that followed, it's safe to say that they did quite well for themselves in their new terrestrial world. And by about 300,000 years ago, some of these tetrapods start looking a bit familiar. All from very fishy beginnings. But what does that have to do with you might be thinking? Sure, your ancestors were fish, but that doesn't define you. Well, I wouldn't be so sure. Tetrapod, taken literally, means 4 foot. Now, people such as yourself notably don't tend to have 4 feet, but they remain tetrapods. The same can be said for chickens, snakes, kangaroos, and even dolphins. This is because the group is not defined by characteristics such as how many feet an organism might have, but by their ancestry, an approach known as cladistics. Modern tetrapods all came from ancestors with 4 feet, hence the name, and they continue to be included in the group as descendants, even if through time and evolution they happen to lose feet. This is the reason why an ostrich is a tetrapod, but a spider that has been in an unfortunate accident isn't. Dolphins superficially look a fair bit like sharks, but we group them as mammals through their ancestry. And because we know they're mammals, we know that they are more closely related to camels than they are to sharks, and that they likely came from four-limbed terrestrial ancestors. Cladistics allows us to know far more about the ancestry of an organism, its entire evolutionary history, and how it has come to be, than if we were simply grouping them based on superficial similarities. Each individual represents an unbroken chain of ancestors stretching back billions of years. Cladistics allows us to best communicate not only where an organism has come from, but also how it relates to the rest of life on Earth. And through cladistics, we know that you are a fish. A goldfish is a fish, a shark is a fish, and a lungfish is a fish too. The goldfish is more closely related to the lungfish than it is to the shark, and you are more closely related to the lungfish than it is itself to the goldfish. It is a big fish family, but to tell its story, you must be included. And to tell your own, your fishy origins cannot be ignored. Being a fish doesn't change who you are, but it might go some way to explaining how you came to be. Welcome to the club.